Overnight, the Phoenix Suns shot up to be the title favorites when Kevin Durant was traded to them last week. But is it fair to say it's win or bust for the Phoenix Suns? Hey guys, Emmanuel here, and before I jump into this video, I just want to ask you guys to give me the HBO special, and that is the Help a Brother Out. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button and leaving a like underneath this video. I don't like long intros, so let's jump into this analysis of the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant decided to join the Phoenix Suns on the trade deadline, and I say decided because he did have a say in where he would land. And overnight, the Phoenix Suns shot up to be the title favorites. And on paper, the Phoenix Suns look like the league's worst nightmare. Remember, this is still practically the same team that went to the NBA Finals 2 years ago. The trio of Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker is as good as any big three in the NBA. But with that being said, what's the expectations for the Suns? The finals? I know. Kevin Durant hasn't even played a single game in a Phoenix Suns jersey yet, and yet here I am talking about NBA Finals. But someone has to, because it's important that we talk about it because of the implications that it would have on Chris Paul and Kevin Durant's legacies. Chris Paul in particular, because Chris Paul has been in the NBA for 18 years and has never won an NBA championship. Chris Paul has been in the NBA longer than some of my viewers have been alive. Now, he's come close to winning a championship, for instance, 2 years ago in 2021 when he went to the NBA Finals, but ultimately lost to the Milwaukee Bucks. And throughout the years, he's been on some really stellar teams that have given him a legitimate chance, a shot at winning the NBA Finals. Like in 2015 when he was on the Los Angeles Clippers that was coached by Doc Rivers. Ultimately, that team lost to the Golden State Warriors. That's when the Golden State Warriors was just on their rise, becoming a dynasty. But also in 2018, when he was teammates with James Harden. In 2018, the Houston Rockets featuring Chris Paul was statistically one of the best offensive NBA teams ever in a league. They were offensively better than the Golden State Warriors that year, and you have to remember the Golden State Warriors that year had Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and a pre-injured Klay Thompson on there, and the Houston Rockets still managed to be better than them. So Chris Paul has had his lion's share of really good teams that should have been able to win him a championship, but time and time again he's fallen short. So this team featuring Kevin Durant now might as well be his last shot, his last chance at winning a NBA championship, because you have to remember Chris Paul is 38. Chris Paul is the same age as LeBron James, and as impressive as that is to say, Chris Paul's probably going to be out of the league in the next 2 years. So this is it. And then there's Kevin Durant. Like Chris Paul, Kevin Durant has been in the league for a long time. And although he's won an NBA championship, his career history isn't the prettiest. The only 2 championships he has are because he made what some deem to be the weakest move ever made by an NBA player when he decided to leave the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2016 to join the Golden State Warriors team that was 73-9 that had previously beat him in the NBA playoffs. Remember, Kevin Durant was up 3-1 on that Golden State Warriors team. And he took the motto of if you can't beat him, join him. And when he did that, it put a stain on his legacy. He might have went to the NBA Finals, he might have won 2 NBA Finals, but he was carried to those 2 NBA Finals. And Kevin Durant might tell you otherwise. He might say, well, take a look at my Finals MVP. This proves I wasn't carried. But he was only in a position to win that Finals MVP because he got carried there. If he was as good as he says he is, he would have stayed in OKC and he would have won a championship with Russell Westbrook because they were good enough to do so. And because of that, the narrative around Kevin Durant is that he needs Stephen Curry to win a championship and not the other way around. Because Stephen Curry has proved to the world that he doesn't need Kevin Durant to win a championship. He won before Kevin and won after Kevin. Recently, last year, he cemented this fact when he won his first Finals MVP. And the second narrative around Kevin Durant is that he needs a super team to win. Kevin Durant has now been on 3 super teams. The Golden State Warriors, of which he left to go join Kyrie Irving, and added James Harden to make the best offensive big 3 I've ever seen in the league. And he left that team because it crumbled apart because of the nonsense that Kyrie Irving and Kevin